If you work in the healing arts, seeing clients, sometimes it can feel like the people you're working with aren't making enough progress. Then that makes you wonder if you're doing a good job. So in this video, I'm here to explain why it's not your fault if a client quits, takes too long to progress, or returns to their old habits. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time we post a new video about herbalism, healing, and alignment. I'm Selima Harleston Lust, co-founder with my wife, Tammy Lust of Iwilla Remedy, where we help you turn your health issues into non-issues. I've taught clinical spiritual herbalism to over 5,000 students in my various programs and courses, and I can personally relate to feeling down, disappointed, and questioning my work when it seemed like, a client just hasn't made enough progress. So let me tell you a story. For my 40th birthday in February, Tammy, Niles, and I, we traveled to Sedona in the Grand Canyon. We did a 5.5-mile hike in Sedona, and on our way up the hill, there were other hikers who gave us directions, told us what landmarks to look for and which turns to take. As we got closer to our destination, which was the subway caves, more and more people said, "You're almost there. Keep going. It's so worth it." The hardest part of the hike was the final stretch, the climb uphill to the caves. And this was where a lot of people stopped because they were scared. They stood at the bottom, looked up at all of the people who were climbing and walking through the caves, taking pictures and enjoying the breathtaking views. This is a really great metaphor for healing. As healers, we are those hikers who've been to the top. We understand the obstacles. We can encourage others to keep going because we know the reward. We know that reclaiming your well-being is priceless. We've been through our own journey, so our job is to guide and give someone the tools that they need. What we can't do is control which tools they use and how people proceed on their path, take responsibility for how far they go. And we certainly can't blame ourselves if they choose to stop and turn around. At the subway caves where we hiked, the reward for the hard work was looking out at this beautiful landscape and the satisfaction of having walked this far and climbed this high to see it. This was our reward for getting to the top. But maybe someone else's reward was getting outside when all they wanted to do was stay in bed because they've been depressed. Or maybe someone else's reward was hiking 2 miles, which is longer than they've ever done before. Maybe someone else's reward was just simply to be present, and they were present with their breath and they took in all of the beauty. My point is that while we all have our own goals, more importantly, we all have our own starting points, and we all need support where we are. So the reward on the healing path is getting through your hurt and pain to feel whole, to feel well and fulfilled and secure again. The joy of witnessing yourself persevere and transform builds confidence that nothing can strip away. But people, they don't get to it if they don't get through it. Not everyone you work with, though, is going to reach the same milestones when they work with you. You are someone who gets them closer. That's it. There are folks at the start of the hike who were there to give us directions. You might be someone who encourages people at the beginning of their journey. We took a wrong turn at some point. We got completely lost on our hike, but there was somebody there that helped us get back on track. You and your healing work might be that person that redirects people, helps them get back on their path. Once we got closer to the caves, that's when folks started encouraging us, pushing us, telling us how close we were. Then when we saw the caves and the uphill trek it would take to get there, our eyes completely bugged out, and those folks saw our hesitation too. They related, they empathized, they encouraged, but they still told us which path was a little bit easier because there were 2 options. There were people standing beside us, though, receiving the same guidance, and some folks said, "This is as far as I'm going right now," while we said, "We think we can do it." Wherever you stand in your healing work, you play a pivotal role for someone else. You may be someone right at the beginning. You may be someone who redirects. You might be an encourager. You might be someone who pushes. In every instance, though, you congratulate someone on where they are today and for meeting you in this place today, and you encourage them to take their next right step. So it's not that people are quitting. It's not that people are taking too long. And it's not that folks, are returning to their old habits and your work with them didn't make an impact. It's really none of that. I remember at the beginning of stepping out as an herbalist and helping someone on their cancer healing journey. As a beginner, my expectations were way low. I was not thinking that I was going to help cure this person's cancer. I was nervous about it, which I think is a good thing. But instead of thinking that I was a hiker at the top of the hill, pushing her to reach her cure, I realized I was at the beginning, giving her guidelines on what path to follow. I was at the bottom of the hill offering support and medicine that would just help move this person in the right direction. That's it. Sometimes we can put pressure on ourselves to get our clients to go all the way. But honestly, that ends up creating a lot of frustration, emotional attachment, disappointment, and it ends up perpetuating our imposter syndrome. The more you work with people and gain experience, the more easily you'll be able to identify the role you play in their healing journey. While you may want to be a person who takes everyone you work with from the bottom to the top of the hill, from illness to wellness, you don't get to control that. For some people, they will use your blueprint and your process and your medicine and go all the way. But for others, they will take what resonates or all that they're ready for and leave the rest for now. But they will make a few steps forward and be changed for the better in some way. All results are worthy of celebration. And even if you can't see the change, even if you don't hear from them again, know that you planted seeds, that you were a guiding light on their path. But remember, it's their path, their starting point, and their goal. And those things are different for every person you work with. I hope you found this helpful. If you're looking for a comprehensive herbal program, consider ours, Herbal Medicine for the Soul. It's a self-paced online mentorship program with weekly calls where we're not only training future herbalists and medical practitioners on herbal medicine, we're teaching people how to heal and break the cycles of chronic physical pains, mental illness, pills, side effects, using herbal medicine, medical astrology, and the Calypso healing method. The link is below. Check it out. And if it resonates, see you inside. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.